What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Today we're looking at the top 5 kids who committed crimes because of video games. Now I've seen a lot of lawmakers or parents try to say that video games make kids more violent or commit crimes, which we all know is completely false. But sometimes it does inspire select kids to do some dumb things, so today we're looking at the worst. With that said, if you think that banning video games because they're violent is dumb, leave a like on the video right now. Also, I want you to comment the dumbest thing you've ever seen because of video games, but with that said, let's get right into the video. Number 5. Everyone has their favorite video game characters, but idolizing someone from Grand Theft Auto, well, that's probably not a very good idea. I mean, this kid literally killed his dad and his brother, and he admitted to the police that it was a character in GTA that inspired him to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna go into details because they're really grim, but he had been planning to do it for months, and when his dad started ranting and getting violent, the kid finally snapped. I'm not even joking, he shot his dad in the gut and then twice in the face and his head, and then went upstairs and stabbed and shot his 13-year-old brother too. That's not even the worst part though, because in court he said he only regretted killing his dad quote unquote a little bit and didn't regret killing his brother at all. With all that said, I don't think we could completely blame the video game here, because even his grandparents confirmed that he'd been torturing animals ever since he was young. I don't know, I think this just really goes to show that you should always keep a close eye on kids, especially if they have really strange behavior.
Night, police responded to a shooting in the 1300 block of North 1st Street in Coeur d'Alene. The caller saying he just shot his dad and brother. According to police reports, 14-year-old Eldon G. Samuel III answered the door when officers arrived. He was covered in blood with a telephone to his ear. Samuel III told police that night that his dad, 46-year-old Eldon Samuel Jr., had been ranting about zombies that evening in the front yard and even fired a shot into their home. Later, while inside, Samuel Jr. started hitting and pushing his son. That's when Samuel III says he shot his dad in the gut with a .45 caliber handgun. But he wasn't done. Court documents say Eldon Jr. started crawling to his younger son's room. That's when the 14-year-old stood over him and shot him 3 more times. Twice in the face, once in the head. During that time, 13-year-old Jonathan Samuel had been hiding under the bed. Police reports say Samuel III grabbed a shotgun and shot his brother 4 times.
Number 4. Okay, I don't know what it is about GTA, but apparently it's not just murder it inspires, because it made this kid pick up some super dangerous driving habits as well. Like seriously, this kid is definitely old enough to know better, but he still found a pickup truck and went on an insane joyride. And his reason was just to see if GTA in real life was as fun as the game. Sounds insane, right? Well, unfortunately, it's totally true. He jumped in a car that wasn't even his and forced a random woman out of the driver's seat, and then smashed into 9 cars and sent 2 people to the hospital. Now the woman finally found a way to jump out, and it's a good job she did, because he then plowed straight through a metal fence and into a wall. The craziest thing is though, this isn't even the first time this has happened, and the last person to commit a crime like this because of GTA was 11 years old.
Pretty shocking story, a college student trying to play out one of the world's most popular and violent video games in real life. The young man stole a car and went on a spree straight out of Grand Theft Auto. And ABC John Morrow has all the details on that crime-filled night.
Police say Zachary Burgess, seen here in his booking photo, stole a pickup truck and went on a dangerous joyride Saturday night in Baton Rouge. All they say because he failed to separate fantasy from reality.
Zachary had stated to officers he had been playing the video game Grand Theft Auto and wanted to see if it was as fun in real life.
What happened next, police say, sounds like a scene from that popular but controversial video game, where characters rob, carjack, and kill their way to the top of an urban underworld.
Zachary sees a vehicle running in the parking lot. There's a female passenger inside the car. He then jumps into the car.
Police allege in the process, Burgess smashed into 9 cars, sending 2 people to the hospital.
Number 3. Lots of people joke about being addicted to their favorite game, but for this kid it was really true and had some pretty messed up consequences. Basically what happened was this 17-year-old had a game taken away from him by his parents, and apparently he literally went insane with withdrawal symptoms. Seriously, he was so addicted to the game that he freaked out when it was taken from him, and he shot both his mom and dad in a rage. The thing is, he didn't really know he was killing them because his addiction made him think that they'd come back, just like a character in the game. Either way, he was still sentenced to life in jail, and I think they'll be under pretty strict orders not to let him anywhere near a video game for a while. By the way, in case you were wondering the game that made him freak out, it was actually Halo 3, so at least it wasn't GTA again this time.
Teenager learns his punishment for killing his mother and shooting his father in a dispute over a video game. Kevin Freeman is just back from Elyria and joins us now with all the details. Kevin?
Well, Tracy, 17-year-old Daniel Petrick claimed that the video game made him do it, and the judge somewhat agreed. He sentenced him to life in prison with a chance for parole in 23 years. Petrick shook his head and held back tears at times during the sentencing this morning. The teen, who was 16 at the time, was convicted of killing his mother, Sue Petrick, and shooting his father, Reverend Mark Petrick, inside their home in Wellington in October 2007. Prosecutors say he was angry that they had taken away a Halo 3 video game. Defense attorneys argued that Daniel was so addicted to the game that he was in withdrawal, and he may not have realized that his parents would not come back.
I love you, Danny. You realize the city has caused so much pain for so many people, and not just my family.
Number 2. Everybody knows about Slenderman, but most little kids are terrified of him, right? Well, not these girls. They actually wanted to impress him, and the things they did to try and get his attention are super messed up. I mean, they had a sleepover for one of the girls' birthdays, but things got scary when they lured their friend into the woods and then stabbed her 19 times as a sacrifice to Slenderman. Not just that, but they actually ran away and left her there so they could try and find the mansion in the woods where they thought he lived. The amazing thing is, the girl somehow survived and managed to crawl out of the woods to find her parents. Obviously, she told them straight away it was her friends that had done it, but it still took the police a super long time to track them down because they were still walking through the woods trying to find Slenderman. I mean, seriously, if you're watching this video, please don't stab anyone, as that's probably not a good idea.
ABC News exclusive. You're going to meet a young woman with an extraordinary story of survival. She was the victim of a crime that shocked parents everywhere. Stabbed 19 times, allegedly by two of her friends, who said they were trying to impress a fictional internet character called Slender Man. Now, for the first time, the girl and her parents are going on camera, and ABC's David Muir, anchor of World News Tonight, has our report.
Incredibly, police say those girls were now headed to find a mansion where they believed a fictitious internet character truly lived. A character named Slenderman, who police say they were hoping to impress. Outside that hospital, in that town,
a major search by ground.
These are the woods where the stabbing
police are still on the scene here.
A frantic search for the two missing, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire.
Two 12-year-old girls stabbing their friend nearly to death is unimaginable anytime, but especially for a safe community like the city of Waukesha.
While back at the hospital, the surgeon, John Kellerman, is about to discover just how much damage has been done.
The knife came directly down at this point.
Number 1. So I have so many questions about this story, but the one thing that's clear is that 8-year-olds really shouldn't be playing GTA if they don't have competent parents. Like, this kid was playing it for hours at home with the old woman who took care of him, but at some point something must have snapped because the night ended in disaster. I mean, somehow the kid found a gun in the trailer they were in and then loaded it and shot the woman point blank in the back of the head while she was watching TV. Now, obviously she died instantly, and even though he told the police it was an accident, the police were convinced that he just wanted to bring the game into the real world. The thing is, because he's 8 years old, the law can't really do anything about it since he wasn't old enough to understand what he was doing. With all that aside, I don't think he'll be playing games for a pretty long time, especially once he's legally too young for anyway.
Country Breeze Trailer Park was covered with cops Thursday evening. Detectives say an 8-year-old boy who was living at this mobile home grabbed a gun and shot and killed 90-year-old Marie Smothers as she sat in a chair watching television. People who live here are shaking their heads. Detectives say while the young boy told them it was an accident, they believe he intentionally shot Smothers. However, they say relatives report the kid had a loving relationship with the woman and that the two even shared a bedroom. A man who referred to himself as the boy's father tells 9 News the gun, a .38 caliber handgun, belonged to Smothers. Detectives are having a hard time with this one too. They say they don't know why the 8-year-old shot the woman, only that he was playing Grand Theft Auto, a popular video game that gives players points for shooting people, just minutes before he pulled the trigger.
I think it's really sad. It's really sad.
And there's our video on the top 5 kids who committed crimes because of video games. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe so you see when I upload a video. Also, if you're on top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to use the Extremely Handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.